When you walk down this street in the 1950s, restaurants, grocery stores, clubs, churches, and more lined the area. The African-American-based community called Glenwood was in its prime. Things have changed over the years and may be unrecognizable to those who grew up here, but the legacy it created will live on forever.
Glenwood was called Shine Town. It was a black community over in the East End.
It was laced with businesses, black businesses, and a lot of energy, and as a child, that excited me.
The safe haven for the black community offered everything a family could need.
Right now where Massalina Housing Project sit, that used to be a baseball park owned by two brothers, and they bought a baseball team into Panama City. And the barnstorming teams like the Cleveland Buckeyes, the Birmingham Barons, the St. Joe Sluggers will all come here. And such stars came to play at the park was Henry Aaron, Luke Easter, Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella, Larry Doby, Harry Suquet Simpson, Sasha Page. All of them would come with barnstorming teams through here and play.
But it still symbolized a time of division. Struggles of the country showing its presence in Bay County.
In the 50s, it was a pretty rough time coming up through Panama City. We went through a hard time as far as segregation. When the boycott started across the United States, we were boycotting the stores down here on Harrison Avenue, Cora 10-cent store, and the stores that had lunch counters.
A lot of folks chose to fight for particular rights. Like I remember years ago when there was a Walgreens downtown, that there was a sit-in and there was a riot in the middle of Harrison Avenue. I remember that. I remember having to, because I've been wearing glasses since second grade, so I remember having to go in the back door to get an eye exam. So those kinds of things, you know, they shape you, but you can't let them deter you.
Attitudes and trends began to change with integration.
To me, I think when integration started to take over, that kind of split the community and took some of the kids from going to just all but dominant black school, and they had to go to Rutherford, Bay High, and et cetera, like that. And that's when the community started to split up and et cetera, like that.
Years later, local improvements also hindered Glenwood.
Unfortunately, one of the vehicles to move people kind of divided the community, and that was the widening of MLK. And then you also had integration. You know, integration is good because it allowed you to do what? It allowed you to spend your money anywhere you wanted to spend it.
So the businesses and the families started to spread, but the meaning of the area lives in its people who knew it at its greatest time. Champlain says it's key to make sure that greatness is never forgotten.
There's an event in track and field where you have to pass the baton. But you know what's important is that before you pass the baton, you got to train the recipient. Because the recipient has to be ready to accept the baton. And those are the kinds of skill sets and tenacity we got to teach the young. Because while we're sitting here in the African American Culture Center, this history has to be taught.